Hey everyone, how's it going? So here I have the wall connector Gen 2. So this looks slightly different from other Gen 2 because this is actually the referral bonus that you get with Elon Musk's autograph. So they don't make this anymore. They actually don't give this anymore. So this is actually a limited edition. You can't even purchase this. And it's all blacked out. And we installed this because we were using a Clipper Creek charger, the J1772, but we got tired of adding the adapter each time we charge. But this is a NEMA 1450, only pushes out about 40 amp. So this, on the other hand, is actually 80 amp. Yeah, this is 80 amp. The version, or the Gen 3, is only 48 amp. So I don't know why Tesla discontinued making the 80 amp. So you can modify this, making it even 48 amp. But we decided to do a 100 amp breaker with output from this charger at 80 amp to future proof in case Tesla does bring back the charging capability like they did in the S and the X 2018 and prior. You actually can charge up to 72, I believe it's 72 amp, which gives you about 55 to 60 miles of range per hour, which is great. Most people might not need that, especially if you plug in every night. You probably only need 48 amp, but that's for the current Tesla vehicle. With the Cybertruck and the Roadster coming out, we're thinking that it might have a 150 to 200 kilowatt battery to give it that 500 plus mile range. That might be a problem because you won't be able to top off your charge if you're close to empty overnight. You're gonna need about maybe 16 hours, 14 to 16 hours on a 48 amp. But with the 80 amp, if Tesla does bring back the 72, 80 amp capability for the vehicle to charge up to that speed, you can top off just overnight, 6 to 8 hours. And of course, people would like to slow charge to preserve the battery, but you can control that within the vehicle. You can lower the amperage on your display. So that's not gonna be an issue. So hopefully Tesla brings back that 72 or 80 amp capability like they had in the S and the X in 2018 and prior. But we do really like this wall connector a lot. So if you're on the market for a wall connector, I suggest you try to find a Gen 2. And I'll post a link where you can purchase one. It's slightly expensiver than the Gen 3 because it's now limited. Tesla doesn't even sell the Gen 2 on their website anymore. They only sell the Gen 3. The Gen 3 is slightly smaller and they have a glass plating. Also, the charging wire is thinner, lighter, but it's also shorter. This is, I believe this is 24 feet versus the Gen 3. You have two options, 8 feet and also 18 feet. 18 feet for a standard garage. And if you need to pull this extension across the garage, you won't be able to reach the other vehicle if it's parked in reverse. So everything is blacked out. It still does have the Tesla logo on here in gloss. Slightly scuffle up because of the installation here, but nothing wipes can clean that off. But we really like this blacked out wall charger. It definitely stands out in the garage. And it's very unique. You won't be able to find this anywhere unless you buy on eBay or through a third party who still carries it, because Tesla only gave this out for I believe a few years through their referral program, and then they stopped. The installation, so you can see, it's right on the wall here, the dry wall. I would recommend installing a maybe a plywood behind it, so when you're putting the wires up, you're not scuffing up the the orange peel here if you have, you know, texture drywall in this case. What else do I want to say? Some people might just install the the NEMA 1450, but even with the mobile connector, some of you may say that's enough, which for most case, that might be true. So I like to leave the mobile connector in the vehicle in case if there's spontaneous trips that I take. At least I have that with me just for security if there's no supercharger nearby, or if I decide that, you know, I want to charge at the place I'm staying at, a friend's place, etc. You can have that with you. So if you buy an extra mobile connector, it's about $300 or so, 300. You might as well get a wall connector for a couple hundred more. You actually can get rebate off depending on your utility company. Some offer $400 to $500 rebate with the installation. You just have to get a permit and proof of purchase, as well as picture of serial number, etc. So check out your local utilities to see if they offer that, because here in Orange County they do offer that in certain areas, $400 to $500 and up to 2 chargers per household. And then if you're wondering about my other setup, so this is how the setup. I have the controller for the SunPower solar panel. The size of it is fairly small because the inverter is actually in the panel itself. And then I have a whole house water filtration. I'll post a link where you can find these in the description of this video. So this actually gives you filtration for the whole house, and this is actually a water softener. It has a nice container to hold your salt. You can do NaCl or KCl, so potassium chloride. It's more expensive for potassium chloride, but it's a little better for the environment. So we use potassium chloride instead of sodium chloride. So there's a lot of things going on here. Otherwise, this is how we set up, and it's a clean setup. We're thinking about maybe putting repainting this area first, and then putting some protection between the charging wire and the wall itself. But again, if you're installing this wall connector, whether Gen 2, Gen 3, definitely ask your electrician to put maybe like a black plywood behind it, so at least the charging wire doesn't rub on the wall. Anyways, thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, and catch you all next time.